everybody, we are making the cheese sauce casserole. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna make a big batch. I don't even know some of the measurements because we're winging it. So we're just gonna roll and we'll see how much it ends up making. And at the end of this video, maybe we'll have come up with some kind of measurements. I don't know, whatever. But the first thing I did was I toasted 4 pieces of bread that I'm gonna grind into breadcrumbs. This bread is not SOS-free, so if you want this dish to be totally SOS-free, free of salt, oil, and sugar, I think this bread probably has added salt, and it might even have some added sugar, I don't know. But it's definitely oil-free though. So I am going to throw these 4 pieces of bread into the blender. Okay, so we've got our breadcrumbs that are gonna go on top. So we'll set those aside for later. Okay, so next I'm going to take 3 cups of quinoa, which is way more than I need. So you could probably do 2 cups. I'm gonna do extra. If I have leftovers, I'll just put it in the fridge and eat it this week. So I'm going to rinse this really well, and it's 2 to 1. So I'm gonna put 6 cups of water, 3 cups of quinoa, bring it up to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, cover it for 15 to 20 minutes until all the water is absorbed, and then our quinoa is ready. So that is all I'm doing in the background back here. Okay. Don't let me forget about the frozen peas. I should just pull them out. Am I gonna use more than 1 pack of frozen peas, do you think? We'll thaw one, we'll leave the other one in there, we'll see what happens. All right, moving on, let's make some cheese sauce. You saw me make the cheese sauce in my cheese sauce video. It's pretty much the same. We're gonna make a double batch because I want more than enough to make this dish rock. First things first, chop up 2 regular old yellow onions or sweet onions or whatever kind of onion. And it can just be rough chopped because it's gonna go into the blender after. So don't spend too much time chopping. And then I've also got like 6 cloves of garlic that I'm also going to just chop roughly, just because we're gonna saute them a little bit. Doesn't have to be minced by any means. All right, we're ready. That's nice. Let's put the cheese sauce together. So we've got 2 tablespoons of miso. Again, if you want this to be SOS free, leave out the miso. You're not gonna miss it that much. Okay, then I've got about 2/3 of a cup of nutritional yeast, 2 teaspoons of crushed red pepper. I've got, what was this, 2 teaspoons of paprika. I did 1 teaspoon of regular sweet paprika and 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. You can do whatever. Then I've got 1 teaspoon of black pepper, regular black pepper ground up. I've got 1 whole teaspoon of turmeric. I've got 1 whole teaspoon of cumin. I love cumin. And I've got a ½ teaspoon of curry powder. I added about a cup of veggie stock and I'm whisking it up. I might need a little bit more, but no, this is pretty good. I'm gonna prep some more veggie stock just in case. I've got my veggie stock paste that I made. It is like a paste that I can just dilute with water to make veggie stock. Pretty awesome. So I'm just gonna take like maybe a ½ of a teaspoon of this and mix it in some water. Can I shake this without it getting everywhere? Boom, instant veggie stock. Pretty cool. Those are looking nice. I'm making this totally nut-free. We're doing the lower calorie version. So, but you can feel free to add cashews to your blender when we blend up the cheese sauce if you're into that. It definitely has a bit of a richer flavor. Okay, let's do this. We're just gonna pour this mixture into our onions and garlic, and let's heat it back up to a nice simmer. Let it cook for a minute and then we'll blend it. Oh, it smells so good. We are gonna make this cheese sauce a little bit wetter than normal because it's gonna go in the oven. So we want, the quinoa is gonna absorb a lot of the cheese sauce, so we wanna make it a little wetter than the normal cheese sauce. So I've probably added around two cups or so of veggie stock total. Let's add this to the blender. Okay, next I'm going to add the equivalent of, like, what I did here is I just peeled some russet potatoes because that's the potato I had. And I put them in the Instant Pot for 10 minutes so they're nice and cooked through. That's like maybe between 3 and 4 russets. That's gonna give it the nice creaminess when we blend this up. Let's go for it. So we're done with that, just let it sit. Okay, so I'm going to just start chopping up some raw broccoli and throw it into this big monster bowl here. This here is my veggie scraps that I'm gonna freeze and make veggie stock out of. Free veggie stock. So far that's like probably 3 or 4 cups of broccoli. Let's do some kale. I've got 1 bunch of kale here, and I'm just gonna get the stems out and chop it up. There goes the quinoa. Okay, next I've got, this is a load of black beans that I cooked in the Instant Pot yesterday. I did a pound of black beans, but I'm only gonna put in like half of it so far. Let's see what the mix is like. I don't do recipes, you know me. We're just kind of winging it here. You'll be able to make this your own. All right, let's get the quinoa. I think I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna do all 3 cups of quinoa. And I hope I have enough cheese sauce. I think I do. Okay, the quinoa's in, the kale is in, the broccoli's in, the black beans are in. I need I'm gonna start with a whole bag of frozen peas. Yes. And then, so we are in good shape. It's time to add the cheese sauce. I'm gonna get a bigger spoon. I'm getting the monster spoon out. Okay, let's just go for it now and add some cheese sauce. Yes. Let's see what we got. It's looking nice. Oh yeah. I think we're just right. I'll just finish up this kale, be done with it. I'm gonna make it a little bit wetter. I'm gonna pour in some veggie stock. Maybe that was what, a 1/3 of a cup or so, 1/2 a cup. So we want it to be a little wet so it doesn't dry out in the oven. All right, I got a big Pyrex here and I'm just going to fill it up. Beautiful. Then I've got my breadcrumbs. And I'm just going to give a nice liberal sprinkle of breadcrumbs on top. Now we're gonna cover it. I'm gonna do 1 more. Do I have enough to fill this thing? I think so. Oh, I think we're done. I think we are done. Let's see how we did. It's nice and brown on top. I mean, I could let it cool or I could not. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Excuse me. I do like to put a little bit of sriracha on top. Pretty good. Oh, it's excellent. This is one of our favorite things to take to dinner parties or to make for a dinner party. It's so easy, of course, to throw together, and we make this a lot during the week when we don't want to spend a bunch of time cooking. We can just throw this together in a few minutes. Mass prep your cheese sauce, and then it's really simple. All you have to do is throw in the quinoa, the vegetables, the cheese sauce, mix it up, and throw it in the oven. So a lot of different ways that you could do this really, really fast. I could eat probably 4 bowls of this right now. That is hot. The broccoli is really hot. The broccoli is really nice and crunchy. It is just perfect. I went in raw. I didn't blanch it before or anything. And man, it is nice. I love the greens. I love the beans and peas. This is an awesome dish. It's got a little bit of everything. And the quinoa is a fantastic starch. So you hit it all with this one. You'd be crazy not to go and make it right now and tell me how it goes. Do it. And then the only salt was what? In the miso and the breadcrumbs, had some salt, and the sriracha, of course, but it can easily be made totally SOS free. You may think I'm gonna have a lot of leftovers, which I am, but I'll probably have it done tomorrow. Oh. So join us in the Facebook group if you're not there already, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching. See you soon. Bye.